Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Mayor Kingstown Season 3, Episode 10, Cumuppance. Excuse my voice, I'm starting to get a little bit sick. Hopefully I'll get over that pretty soon. Wasn't sick of this show though. Fantastic series, but in my opinion just an okay season finale. There were some things that were irking me a little bit regarding this season finale, but nevertheless there were some very good moments in this episode. For a start, Evelyn, the lawyer, she started to look into Ian a little bit regarding the death of Charlie and some other things as well regarding the person that was killed in the previous season from Charlie's hands. And Evelyn also wants to go after Robert, the guy in the SWAT outfit who is a little bit unstable, and she feels that going through Ian first would be the best way to get to Robert. Ian knows about this, and there's a moment where Robert, Ian, Kyle, Mike, they're all talking to each other, wondering what to do about the situation. And at one point Ian is kind of like threatening to take Evelyn out, and this is when Mike kind of steps up and says, you know, who wants to going to be touching a hair on her head? You know, we have to deal with the situation without having innocent people being killed. Obviously Kyle's not happy with what's going on either, but he is on Mike's side. I don't think Ian wants anything bad done. He is, in my opinion, a decent cop, but at the same time he's in a little bit of shit. And Mike does try to resolve the situation with Evelyn, and nothing really necessarily gets resolved, but there are bigger fish to fry for Mike in this episode, so he doesn't deal with that situation for too long. And that fish is the Russians, as well as obviously his sort of relationship with Bunny and the Crips as well. The Aryans don't really play a big part in this, other than the death of the warden, Kareem. Now that was a bit of a sad scene, because I think Kareem kind of realized that in order for his family to get money, payouts, all of this sort of stuff, he has to die. Now he does realize that the the guard who's with the Crips is with the Crips, and he kind of gives him some words of advice, saying that, you know, once Bunny has no use for you, he'll wash you out, and then you'll realize that you're on your own. But after that, he then decides to confront the Aryans on his own, and the Aryans shank him to death. It's a sad moment. He does give the other guards a chance to get to him, but he knows that he will be dead before they do get to him, but he wants them to arrive after he dies, of course. So so long, Kareem. You're not the only person who died in this episode, but that was a sad moment. In order for his family to get any benefits whatsoever, he knew he had to die. And yeah, that's just how the American system works, I guess. Regarding everything else, regarding Constantine, as well as Milo, as we know, who's back, he made a meal out of Roman. We see Roman's body just dangling into shreds and pieces with a gas mask on. He obviously was trying to send a message to Constantine. Constantine himself feels like he has to interrupt this sort of weapons deal which the Crips are doing, but obviously that's all fake. It's just a way to get Constantine's goons into the mix, so to speak, in order to take him out. But Constantine himself is not there. He's still back on his boat, but so is Milo. So whilst all this fighting is happening on this bridge between the Crips and Constantine's goons, Milo now is like acting like some N-level boss, you know, fucking around with Iris and Constantine. Now he eventually tells Constantine that Iris has a phone on her that belongs to Mike, and she's been liaising with Mike, which obviously upsets Constantine a little bit. Mike then comes on the scene, being the next person in this scenario, and I found all of this to be a little bit weird, because I just felt like Milo was putting himself in a precarious position where he's going to be caught. You know, he's on this boat. He tells Mike to come down. Mike is obviously going to tell other people that Milo's there. So Milo's, you know, he's putting himself in a position where he's not going to necessarily take over where Constantine left off. He's going to go back to prison again, possibly. I know he's okay with that to a degree, but for a guy who was able to make people believe that he was dead, to put himself in this position, I always thought was a bit stupid, and I didn't really necessarily appreciate the scenario that he was in. But the guy came across as a mastermind, and this was pretty stupid as far as I was concerned. But regardless, whilst all the shooting is going on in the bridge, eventually there's a situation with Robert where he sees a black guy with a gun, but he's actually not a Crip member. He's just a civilian who happens to have an arm, because in America you have the right to bear arms. And he's going to kill this guy, and he's got his kid with him as well. But Kyle stops him from killing this guy, because, you know, Robert's a bit trigger happy and all of that. And at first we thought Kyle killed Robert, but Kyle didn't. He just incapacitated him, shot him in the chest, I think maybe shot him in the neck, but didn't kill him or anything like that. But because there was witnesses, they all believed that Kyle tried to kill Robert, when the reality is Kyle was just trying to stop Robert. That will probably go on to next season. But back to the boat. You know, we have this moment where Constantine gives Iris a gun and tells Iris, yeah, shoot. Milo gives Iris a gun and tells Iris to shoot Constantine. Constantine says, yeah, kill me, shoot me. And he even turns his back to her. And Iris uses that gun to shoot Constantine, puts a bullet in the back of his head, but then immediately tries to shoot Milo with that same gun, but Milo only put one bullet in there. So she never got the luxury of killing Milo off. But then a little disturbance happens on the boat, where Mike uses that opportunity to fight Milo and disarms him. And whilst them two are talking and Milo's really trying to talk his way out of the situation, Mike doesn't really care, puts one bullet in him, and then eventually puts another bullet in his head. And Milo is finally fucking dead. Hallelujah. Dead. Oh my god. Never thought that I would see that. So Constantine's dead in this episode. Milo's dead in this episode. Kareem's dead in this episode. Significant characters have been killed off, but it's not done yet. Iris has a chance now to restart her life. She's always had that opportunity, and she's got money. She's got a new identity. She gets put on a bus, and we see her go off. She then takes a couple of pills. You know, I really thought nothing of it, to tell you the truth, because she does all types of drugs. So I never thought it was much of a big deal. But next thing you know, when the bus stops, Iris is like this. Motionless, her eyes looking upwards, her skin more pale than it usually is. She's dead. She took an overdose, or she killed herself. Those pills, wherever they were, they did the job on her, and she's dead. Couldn't fucking believe it. Iris is dead too. Wow, that was massive. And with all of these people dying, and I think with Iris, like, her life was the life she was in, and the idea of having a happy, simple life, it was not for her. She always wanted a complicated, ruthless life, and she'd rather have that than live a happy life, which is why she killed herself, even though she had everything she could have asked for, but she didn't want that. Crazy. And we see our hero, Mike, at the end of all of this, driving to that hut in the woods we saw in the previous season. And I guess he's going to become a little bit of a recluse. Where we go next season, I don't know. Bunny, obviously, still around. Some of his boys got killed in the crossfire with the Russians. The Russians are done for. The Aryans are still around. So we'll see what happens with them. Obviously, with Callahan, he's not dead. He is obviously arrested, but he might heal up and all of that, and I guess he will. So there's more of him to come. The repercussions for Carl, for what he did, saving that family. So because Robert was so fucking trigger happy. Evelyn as well. Will the police come after her so that she doesn't take any of them down? Who knows? There are other things in this. Obviously, there'll be a new warden. Who will that be? Will it be, what's his face? I forgot his name now. The one prison guard who was kind of on the level. His name escapes me, but will it be him? I hope it is. Regardless, fantastic season, but in my opinion, not necessarily the best finale. There were some good moments in this finale. Finales are really hard to do. Sometimes they can be chef's kiss perfect, and sometimes they can be a little bit of a letdown. I'm not saying this was a total letdown, far from it, but it wasn't perfect considering this series has been pretty much close to perfect. So I've been giving these episodes 9s and 10s. I want to give this a 7, but I think I'm going to be generous and give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Still a very good show. Very good episode. The series itself, 10 out of 10. The season for this show, Mayor of Kingstown Season 3, 10 out of 10 without a doubt. Absolutely phenomenal. I got nothing more to say than just watch it. It's just really good. This is without doubt one of the most underrated, not enough people watching type of show out there on streaming services. It's gritty, it's dark, fantastic characters, great moments. Every episode pretty much a banger. So yeah, watch it, and I recommend it. Excuse me, not feeling the best right now, so I'm finding it pretty much to finish this this review. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. We're on a variety of channels, including TikTok. Check us out there, as well as YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and God knows what else. Alright, take care now. Bye bye.